No one loves a good mystery more than Liberty Treehouse, and few mysteries are as good, not to mention mind-boggling, as the true story I'm about to share with you. Now, on December 5th, 1945, a squadron of TBM Avenger bombers took off from a naval base in Fort Lauderdale and began a series of training ops over the Atlantic Ocean. And within a few short hours, dropped off the face of the earth. Now I know what you're thinking. Navy pilots, training maneuvers, coast of Florida. I mean, isn't it just possible that they just crashed? Maybe. But remember, we're not talking about one or even two planes. We're talking about 5, with a total of 14 crew members. And though the pilots were technically trainees, they all knew a thing or two about flying. So, well, back to the story. The squadron left base around 2 p.m. and flew east. Conditions were described as favorable. Seas moderate to rough. Flight 19's mission was actually pretty routine. Basically, they were just supposed to locate some targets, perfect those important bomb-dropping skills, and practice the navigational art of something called dead reckoning, which was simply figuring out where they were based on how long it took them to fly from point A to point B. The weird thing, though, was out of the 5 planes, 0 of them had a clock on board. But the guys wore watches, so the mission remained a go. Now, about an hour into the exercise, a transmission was received on the ground. An unidentified voice was heard asking one of the students for a compass reading. The disturbing reply, quote,
"I don't know where we are. We must have got lost after that last turn."
Now, around the same time, another bomber reported compass issues. Now, even I know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So it stands to reason that someone on Flight 19 could have figured out what direction the squadron was going just by looking. Maybe someone did, but it was too late. As the day progressed, conditions went from favorable to communications became increasingly difficult. And then, just before all contact was lost, came one final transmission. Quote,
"All planes, close up tight. We'll have to ditch unless landfall. When the first plane drops below 10 gallons, we all go down together."
And then there was silence. So what happened? Well, that, my friend, has been the question ever since that fateful day. Now, some speculate the squadron leader just got disoriented and ultimately led his men straight into the ocean. Others suggest the real culprit was something called the Bermuda Triangle. Mind you, the Navy doesn't even acknowledge the existence of said place, but thanks to other mysterious disappearances over the years in that exact same spot, many folks believe there's a strange force swirling around this part of the Atlantic Ocean. Is it magnetic? Is it alien? Who knows? I do know that those same folks believe this force is confined to a ginormous triangle formed by connecting vertices located in Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. Now, when by ginormous, I mean the area, you know, like the space actually inside the triangle, is around 1.5 million square miles. Now, the odds of something happening to ships and or planes inside an expanse of water that huge at some point in time are, pretty good. Even an area not charged with otherworldly powers. But was the Bermuda Triangle responsible for the fate of Flight 19? Probably not. But it does make you wonder, especially when you consider that right after Flight 19 disappeared, the Navy actually sent out a couple patrol planes to look for signs of wreckage. And shortly into that mission, one of those planes, along with 13 crew members, disappeared too.